Futurama was never afraid to get weird, but sometimes it went way too far.
Come here, Adam.
Thee will be done.
From suggestive robots to uncomfortable jokes, these episodes didn't just push the line, they bulldozed right over it. Welcome to the wildest, most inappropriate moments the show somehow got away with. We start with the double date from hell, and somehow it only gets worse from there. Amazon Women in the Mood, Season 3, Episode 1. It begins with a double date, and Zap Brannigan is already ruining everything. Kif wants to ask Amy out but panics, so he lets Zap lead. Bad move. Zap picks a tacky floating restaurant and feeds Kif awful lines. When Amy asks why he's quiet, Kif blurts,
"If I said you had a beautiful body, would you take your pants off and dance around a little?"
Then he calls,
I find the most erotic part of a woman is the boobies.
Kif!
Amy and Leela leave. Disgusted, Kif, still hopeful, sings a heartfelt karaoke song, but Zap hijacks the mic, raps loudly, and dedicates it to Leela. Everyone walks out. Then, Zap crashes the restaurant into a jungle planet and, mid-wreckage, suggests repopulating the planet with Leela and Amy. And when a real threat shows up, Zap hides like a coward. In just one night, he ruins a date, a ship, and 2 women's patients. The crew is stranded on planet Amazonia, ruled by massive, muscular women. They all duck behind debris, hoping not to be seen. Zap, never learning, tries to flirt again. He calls the giant women beautiful and says,
I usually don't say this, but you are the most beautiful trio of gigantic ladies I've ever laid eyes.
The women are not flattered. They hate men. One of them grabs Zap by the hair and drags him away. The rest are taken too. Fry and Bender, who came to find them, are also captured. Now things go from strange to downright disturbing. The women unchain Leela and Amy, but keep the men in restraints. One Amazonian says they'll be taken to the leader. Fry mocks them, saying,
A female leader?
Fry, shut up.
Yes, Captain.
Disrespect and disbelief in just 3 words. As they walk, the women explain that all their men died years ago. Bender laughs and says,
With all these women around, they were probably nagged to death. Are you with me, fellas?
The Amazonians mention that they also enjoy playing basketball, and the men burst out laughing again, as if women doing sports is some kind of joke. The Amazon women stop walking. Their smiles drop, and with zero hesitation, they beat the men hard. The group is taken to meet the leader, Femputer. Yes, a computer. She appeared after the men died and now rules Amazonia. Femputer really hates men and is furious that men are on her planet. She orders them punished. The sentence? Death by snoo-snoo. The men are chained to the walls. Zap grins. Fry smirks. Kif looks horrified. That's the tone. A literal joke about forced sex treated like a fun punishment. Leela pleads for their lives. Femputer considers sparing them, until someone reminds her they mocked women's basketball. She snaps and demands the snoo-snoo continue. And then comes the weirdest sentencing in TV history. Zap will be snoo-snooed by large women, Fry gets the petite ones. Kif, called the most attractive, gets a nightmare rotation. Beautiful, then large, then petite, then large again. Before being dragged away, Kif finally shouts the truth. He loves Amy. All those awful lines were Zap's, not his. Yet the women show no mercy. They treat them like prey, literally. There are long lines of Amazonian women waiting for their next turn. Zap, stripped down to just his underwear, begs for rest.
We need rest. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Fry, desperate, pleads.
Can't we just cuddle?
But the answer is always the same. More snoo-snoo. Meanwhile, Amy spots a way out. She sneaks into Kif's room, holds him in her hands like a baby, and makes a run for it. Behind them, a stampede of women scream for more snoo-snoo. It's chaos. Leela and Bender try to stop Femputer, but it turns out she is just a fembot hiding inside the machine. Bender flirts with her, makes out a little, and convinces her to release the men. At the end, Fry and Zap are on stretchers, wearing strange white pants and walking bow-legged. Now we enter an Eden where lies, lust, and leafy outfits turn heroism into manipulation. In Agada Dalila, Season 6, Episode 2. A death sphere is on course to destroy Earth, and panic breaks out everywhere. The president explains that the sphere, called V-Ginny, is a giant weapon programmed to destroy planets it considers impure. In need of a solution, the president turns to Professor Farnsworth. He says they need a weapon built by a visionary scientist. Farnsworth proudly presents a tiny one-man stealth ship. It's invisible and nearly undetectable, perfect for sneaking through any small, vulnerable opening. The crew starts arguing over who should go. In the end, Zap and Leela are chosen. The ship is only built for one person, so Leela ends up squished on his lap. Ridiculous, but typical Futurama awkwardness. Zap wants to take full advantage of the situation and hugs her from behind, wanting to switch into pillow talk mode while they're in a literal war zone.
We better whisper.
Switching to pillow talk mode.
Look!
It's uncomfortable. It gets worse. They crash land on an Eden-like planet. Zap naturally daydreams about giving Leela mouth-to-mouth and saving her life with slow-motion heroics. Leela's trapped under a tree log, dehydrated and dazed. Zap suddenly acts like a gentleman, offering help. He tells her it's too hot for their heavy clothes and suggests they strip. To everyone's surprise, Leela agrees.
We better strip them off and continue surviving au naturel.
I suppose so.
They both get naked in the middle of this strange jungle. Leela covers her chest with her hands. Zap, trying to look noble, offers her some sap-covered leaves for clothing. He even puts on some himself. Then they set off to look for food and water like two awkward nudists on a survival show. Sure, it's meant to be silly, but nudity and sexual undertones in a cartoon? That's where a lot of fans started feeling uncomfortable. Zap keeps pouring on the charm. With an apple on the tree, he tells Leela they are the new Adam and Eve. He says maybe they're destined to restart humanity. It sounds poetic, but it's pure manipulation. He hands her a telescope showing Earth destroyed. Leela panics, thinking everyone else is dead. She begins to cry. Zap comforts her with soft words and gentle hands.
Earth is gone! We're the only two humans left in the universe!
She breaks down and agrees.
Maybe you and I were meant to build a new world here.
That's exactly what Zap was waiting for. He tells her it's in the Bible, and maybe they can write their own version.
Then we'll write our own Bible, with less Sodom and more Gomorrah.
That's where things go from awkward to outright inappropriate. Using religious references to push a romantic or sexual agenda, that's low, even for Zap. Leela, confused and emotional, nods and says she'll be the mother of the new world. They start getting intimate under the trees. She takes a bite of an apple and says it's
Juicy. Those nutberries you found were so salty, I couldn't think straight.
But then it hits her. Those berries had come from Fry. Zap tries to cover it up, saying he only claimed that to make her like him more. But just then, Leela spots Fry alive and well. That's when the truth hits her like a truck. They are on Earth. Zap had used a fake telescope display, a holographic image of Earth being destroyed, just to trick her. He made her believe she was the last woman alive, all to pressure her into sex. Leela's furious. She realizes he'd been lying the whole time, pretending to be good, noble, and loving just to get into her pants. He let her suffer just to play the hero later. Leela completely loses it and beats Zap senseless. And honestly, he deserved every punch. Just then, the V-Ginny sphere appears in the sky and calls them Adam and Eve. It demands they perform intercourse to prove Earth's purity. Yeah, you heard that right. A death sphere asking a couple to have sex to save humanity. It's not just creepy, it's absurd. And what's worse, Zap and Leela agree. As the Planet Express crew watches from a distance, Fry screams in disbelief. What was supposed to be a heroic mission turned into one of the show's most inappropriate love stories. From death sphere to academic punishment, things don't get any less disturbing at Mars University. Season 1, Episode 11. It begins with a delivery to Mars University, and Fry's destiny is accidentally reignited. He finds out that dropping out of college in the 20th century makes him a high school dropout in the future. He's shocked. He thinks that's unfair.
God, I'm going to enroll here at Mars University and drop out all over again.
He ends up in the financial aid dorm, where things get weirder. His roommate is Gunther, a monkey in a tiny bowler hat. But this isn't just any monkey. Thanks to Professor Farnsworth's electronium hat, Gunther is a super intelligent primate. The professor casually admits Gunther was inside the crate they delivered earlier. That hat gives him knowledge, and way too much personality. While Fry adjusts, Bender wanders around campus. He reconnects with his old robot fraternity, Epsilon Rho Rho. The nerdy robots have lost their cool, So they beg Bender to show them how to be rebellious again. Their first mission: climb a ladder and peep into the girls' dorm. Yep, they think that spying on women is actually a team-building exercise. Bender extends his robotic eyes for a better view, but things go horribly wrong. The ladder slips, they fall hard, crashing straight through the roof of the servants' quarter. It's played like harmless fun, but let's be honest, this is blatant voyeurism. Watching women without their consent is a full-on invasion of privacy, and it's treated like a frat prank show. Back to the classroom chaos, Fry, Amy, and Gunther attend history class. Their professor is cold and weirdly aggressive. He tells them the only way to get an A is to have lived in the 20th century. Sounds ridiculous, but what's worse is his method of discipline. He has a panel with every student's name and a button. If someone isn't paying attention, he pushes it and delivers a literal electric shock. Fail a question, zap. Daydream in class, zap. What kind of messed up education system is this? It's a school, not a torture chamber. Fry starts feeling jealous of Gunther's brilliance. The monkey is acing everything and getting all the attention. Then comes Parents' Weekend. Every student brings their family. Gunther doesn't seem thrilled. Professor Farnsworth brings his parents. 2 wild, feral monkeys in a cage.
This is so humiliating!
Gunther sees them and immediately shuts down. He's deeply embarrassed. Fry, being his usual reckless self, opens the cage. The wild monkeys escape, and chaos erupts. Gunther, ashamed of his real parents, locks himself in his room, crying. Fry tries to help, telling him to return to the jungle if he's so unhappy.
Look, Gunther, if you're so miserable here, maybe you should just go back to the jungle.
It hits hard. The hat made him smart, but also lost. He sees Professor Farnsworth as a father figure.
But I couldn't do that to the professor. I'm his prize experiment, and he's like a father to me.
But Leela reminds him.
But he's not your father. That guy in the punch bowl was your father.
That truth changes everything. Gunther's torn. During an important exam the next day, he sits frozen. He doesn't know if he should stay or go. Then, mid-test, he makes his choice. He throws the hat aside, jumps out the window, and disappears into the jungle. Farnsworth watches in shock.
Why didn't I break his legs?
That's textbook animal cruelty. When the professor learns Fry suggested the jungle idea, he's furious. So Fry, Leela, and Farnsworth head out to find Gunther. They want him to choose once and for all where he belongs. They find him sitting alone on a rock, sad and thoughtful. Leela suggests they let him decide. The hat in one hand, a banana in the other. Genius or instinct? Machine or nature? Let the monkey choose. But before he can, disaster strikes. Fry and all the others fall off a cliff near a waterfall. It's a full cartoon-style drop to doom. Gunther appears at the last second, wearing the hat, and rescues them. But he tumbles down himself. The hat cushions his fall, but gets damaged. Now it only half works. And in that moment, Gunther realizes something important. He doesn't want to be super smart or super wild. He wants balance. A little brain, a little banana. That's enough. In the end, Gunther decides to enroll in business school.
That's why I've decided to transfer to business school.
Not science, not the jungle. Just something in between. Farnsworth is stunned. All that effort, all those years, and the monkey picks marketing. But maybe that's the whole point. Sometimes the most inappropriate part isn't how others treat you. It's how they try to shape you into something you're not. The last episode isn't just inappropriate, it's a full-blown monument to bad taste. Literally. A Pharaoh to Remember. Season 3, Episode 17. Bender has a massive ego, and when he starts fearing no one will remember him after he dies, he doesn't try to be a better person. He goes into full chaos mode.
If I died tomorrow, no one would even notice.
His first plan? Demand a fake funeral where he watches people cry over him like he's a national hero. The crew agrees just to shut him up, but Bender treats the whole thing like bad theater. He critiques the tears. He yells at the speeches. He even insults Fry for not sobbing hard enough. It's not emotional, it's ridiculous. But more than that, it's so inappropriate. Death isn't a joke. Grief isn't a performance. Faking your own funeral and mocking your friends' reactions crosses a serious line.
Bender was a truly special...
Louder and sadder!
You can't just turn something sacred into a show, but Bender does. And instead of learning from it, he doubles down. That brings us to their next delivery, to Osiris 4, a planet that worships ancient Egyptian traditions. Pyramids, slaves, ceremonial burials, it's all there. And just when you think Bender couldn't go any lower, he hijacks an entire civilization's belief system. When the current pharaoh suddenly dies, Bender does something insane.
Tell the slaves they can all go
Go faster? I told them, but they're so damn lazy.
No.
He interrupts the sacred prophecy wall just to insert himself into history. He scribbles himself into the prophecy and declares himself the new pharaoh.
Long live Pharaoh Bender!
Long live Pharaoh Bender!
And shockingly, the people accept it. That's when things spiral into full-blown abuse of power. Bender becomes a tyrant instantly. He doesn't care about tradition, religion, or the people of Osiris IV. He only cares about being remembered forever. So he forces every citizen, aliens, robots, even the Planet Express crew, into building a massive statue of himself. Not a symbol of peace or progress, just a giant stone Bender, lounging in a chair, pointing at nothing. Workers are whipped, overworked, and shouted at. It's not leadership, it's slavery. In Bender, he poses dramatically for the sculptors while the rest suffer. And this isn't just some harmless joke. It's a deeply disrespectful twist on something sacred. Bender hijacks a planet's religious prophecy, scribbles his name into an ancient scripture, and crowns himself ruler like it's just another prank. He doesn't care about the culture, the beliefs, or the meaning behind it. To him, it's just a stage for his ego. Turning sacred rituals into a playground for selfishness isn't funny. It's offensive. When ancient symbols of faith and tradition are rewritten just to feed one character's vanity, it crosses a line. Bender didn't become a pharaoh. He turned something holy into a hollow spectacle. And that's what makes this episode so wildly inappropriate. From faking funerals to rewriting sacred prophecy, Futurama didn't just flirt with bad taste, it married it. These episodes pushed boundaries with disturbing humor, turning real issues like control, abuse, and cultural erasure into punchlines. Whether it was twisted love, forced labor, or making fun of death, the show did not hold back. Think one episode went too far? Drop it in the comments, hit like if you're still processing what you just watched, and subscribe for more deep dives into the most chaotic corners of animation.